The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer, the sports talk, and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlitz as he bellies up to the bar, gets the conversation going, and will make you think you're sitting in your local watering. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420SEAT at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Remember, you're part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all their great articles and other podcasts as well. Tonight, joined by the most positive man, fresh off the basketball court, acting like he's Kobe Bryant out there apparently, but fresh, most positive guy, Yankee fan, third time back in the sports bar. Last time he was around, it was a negative atmosphere because the Yankees just lost the World Series. Ryan, Captain's Corner, how you been, sir? How's things? What's going on? That's what's happening.
I've been good. Yeah, it's funny. Like you said, first time on here, we were heading into the World Series. Vibes were, through the roof. And then second appearance, just the opposite. We just lost the World Series. It was devastating. Or we were down. I forget when that second one was, but it wasn't good.
I think it's after Judge dropped that fly ball, and that was it. And then, yeah, that was what happened there. But, yeah. Exactly.
And then here we are again, and just an interesting spring training for the Yankees.
That's an understatement. Interesting. I'm glad you let in that way because it has been interesting. Let's go back 3 weeks ago, and I want to get the captain's thought, what he was thinking 3 weeks ago. Everybody comes in, high fives and bum slaps, rainbows, unicorns, kissing hands, shaking babies. Boone signs a contract extension. Everybody's having a good time. Things are great. The Bellinger trade came across. Everything's, Soto's gone. Nobody really cared. Like, whatever. People were like, hey, you know what? We got a good team here with the Yankees. What were your thoughts 3 weeks ago, almost to the day?
My thoughts were exactly that. We missed out on Juan Soto, but I thought we did just about as good as you can possibly do after that. The rotation at that time was Gerrit, Cole, Max Fried. You got Rodon, Schmidt, and Heel. So those are your five guys. And honestly, if Schmidt or Rodon is kind of like your fifth best starter, you're in a really good spot. Our bullpen, we signed Devin Williams, incredible. Like you said, the Belly trade. So really everything I was ecstatic because I thought our pitching could easily, especially with how wide open the AL is, our pitching could take us right to the World Series again. And our lineup still looked really good. Compared to, again, the AL at the time was, the Red Sox have made a couple moves, but still, the vibes were high at that time is the least I could say. I was very excited.
I'm glad you I thought, geez, the pitching staff's a ton better just with Fried and Williams. You know what? And then Rodon's going to be better, I would hope. And if you get the same thing, whatever, and Cole's Cole, whatever it is, and Heel a year later, it's probably, okay, yeah, it's going to be better. And then I thought, well, it doesn't matter who's playing left field because we didn't get anything out of Verdugo last year. And your third base is, but whatever. They didn't have anybody playing third base last year, so it didn't matter. I was like, all right, this team is poised to be better than it was last year.
Exactly.
And they were a drop ball from going to game 6, and on it goes. Maybe win game 1 if they don't put in Nestor Cortez, and who knows? It's all speculative now. So hey. We're doing okay here. Yankees are going to the World Series again. Got another shot at it. Then the first thing dropped, and that was and it wasn't surprising me. It didn't bother me, so I was still pretty positive. When then turns out not one but two bad elbows. I was like, you know what? The Tin Man's always hurt. I don't care. It didn't bother me. What were your thoughts on that one?
No, exactly. He was amazing for us last year in the playoffs, and
unbelievable.
He's just such a powerful bat, especially like a pitcher gets on the mound and you see that man in the box. You probably don't want to throw the ball anywhere near that guy knowing he's swinging a bat. He's incredible. So it did hurt to lose him. But like you said, we've gone through this season after season.
Since he came here.
Exactly, yeah. You never know when he is going to be healthy. So it's not that you're expecting it, but you kind of are expecting it. Did we expect both elbows? That's kind of crazy. I'm praying for him because that sounds painful and rough. I don't even know. But yeah, you get that.
I will never have elbow surgery from working out. I can guarantee you that.
Mhm.
Because I don't work out.
It'll
never happen. Like I will never get whatever he's got going on. Like I will never have that problem in my 50 years. Because I don't know if you see my arms, so like tickle me Elmo kind of deal. But yeah,
But
that's
there you go.
me, so I'm going to worry about that. But go ahead.
There you go. That's a pro. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, there you go. Smart move. No surgery required in the off season. Yeah, done.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, just so it is tough. Yeah, we're out without a DH, but again, like I would just keep thinking back to our rotation. That's really all I could think about. That rotation's amazing. Our bullpen's amazing. Devin Williams, our closer. So again, we lose Stanton, but it's like our lineup will be fine. And then fast forward a little bit, we get hit with the Luis Heel news. Not season ending or anything like that, but I think it was 6 weeks.
Well, and that was the thing with the heel thing. At first, it came across, and as soon as you hear elbow and shoulder, like, oh, that's a year. You just automatically think that way. Then they go, oh no, and then the positivity came back. Like, oh, it's only 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It'll be fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. We'll get through it. Some kid in the minors come up, might do the exact same thing Heel did last year. Because I don't want to say starting pitching's a dime a dozen, but young guys, you never know what you could get. Like it just can come out of nowhere because everybody's throwing 100 nowadays anyway. So it was like, okay, this still isn't the worst case scenario. We're doing okay. Then Heel goes down. DJ takes one at bat. And I don't know, like DJ was down last year, and I had maybe my heartstrings were tugging a little bit for DJ to have one more kick at it. And he's down. He's probably I'm going to lay in line. He's probably done. Like he's probably not going to play again for the Yankees. So then the roller coaster started to go to top of Coney Island. And just before you start dropping down, you're like, hey, this is going to be fun. We're still okay.
All right.
And then, boom, on Friday, news came across that G. Cole is going to get a second opinion. So it still wasn't the worst thing. What was your thoughts on Saturday morning?
Yeah, so that the tough thing is, as soon as I saw that he was getting looked at in regards to Tommy John, I immediately just kind of took it as Tommy John. So that I mean, that's probably not the best way to go, but to me it was like, that is it. And then, but just getting the confirmation, it's really devastating, because not only is he our ace, he's been our ace since he's been here, but he's also always felt like, I mean, Judge feels like that guy that's in the dugout. He's the captain. Yep. You just feel like safe when he's in there. Not that we're on the team or anything, but you see him in the dugout playing, you feel safe. You feel like we could win any game. When you see Gerrit Cole healthy and you see him in the rotation, you feel like, all right, we could do really anything. So for a guy like him to go down, and see, this is where my positivity comes into play, because man, I'm like, all right, Max Fried, next guy up. You're a great number one.
There you go.
We're okay. But that's still, that same side of me is like, to have that Gerrit Cole, Max Fried 1-2 was going to be, it's really sad.
And that's the thing that you get thinking about it, and you go, okay, if you have a, like, let's say you have the best of 5 in the ALDS, or it might be, you got Cole, Fried, all right, you're up 2-0.
Yeah.
Right. It's just what it is. It's not. You have a legitimate closer, and I didn't bring that up. Like last year, like you think how good the Yankees were. They didn't have a guy playing third base. They didn't have any real production from left field, and then they didn't really have a closer. And then look what they did. So they added a couple of those things. You're like, hey, this is good. And then oh no, and then having, so I got thinking forward to the playoffs as well. You still got to get there. But then you're like, okay, without Cole, maybe Rodon. But how? So then, and that, because negativity breeds negativity. Like no matter how positive you can be, you can blow rainbows and unicorns out of your ass. Eventually, it's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah.
You start thinking, well, Rodon really wasn't all that good last year, and you're thinking, okay, well, you got Fried at 1. And then I got thinking, then you hear yesterday, and I didn't understand this at all. This one is because opening day is 2 weeks today, actually, I think.
Yeah.
And then, so you get to hear it, well, we don't know who's going to start opening day. And I'm like, what? I said, what? Well, they're set up. They're in their routine. This guy, Fried, was supposed to start on the Friday, and Cole was on the Thursday. They got 2 freaking weeks to figure this out. So are they already setting Rainbow Unicorns guy up for like we're expecting to fail? Like it's just such an odd statement for Boone to make today. Like, can they not just juice things up a little bit? Because why wouldn't Fried want to start opening day? Like the whole thing seems a little bit wonky to me. I don't know. It's just to me.
No, I agree. You'd think, and even if you switch a day or two out, maybe get like a light bullpen here just to like keep him fresh, but just to move his starting days, I don't see how that could be a problem. You signed him for how much money, how many years?
I'll tell you when you're pitching. How's that sound?
Yeah. If Gerrit Cole's not going to be that guy, then you want Max Fried to be that opening day starter.
Yeah, it's like, so you're making how much? You can't boost up your regiment in 2 weeks.
Get on that.
Probably going to go out there. I'm just saying. It's why don't you go? We go back 3 weeks and everything else, and like I said some other podcasts I've been on the last couple of weeks. Like everything was like, yeah, coming up roses for the Yankees, and then the Cole thing, whatever. And I thought, and I want to get your thoughts on it too. But the Bellinger trade, I thought over the offseason was really, really underrated. Like I thought that the Nordic was talking about enough, a left-handed bat, ex-MVP, the Cubs are picking up part of the salary. Like there was nothing but positives, I thought, for the Yankees in this deal. And it kind of got pushed to the back burner because, well, he's one of those guys. You don't know what you're going to get. But what if he has a decent season, not an MVP season, but a decent, by a decent season, like I don't know, hitting 270, 20 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's wow, that's great. Like I know it's not Soto numbers, but it's also about 1/3 the price.
Exactly.
Like, what was your thoughts when with the Bellinger trade and what that all came to be?
I completely agree with you. I think it was very underrated. I do agree. Not a lot of people, I feel like, gave it the attention or kind of media spotlight that it deserved. I have a friend of mine who Cody Bellinger is one of like his favorite players. He's a Yankees fan, but he's always wanted them to come to the Yankees. So like that was like amazing for him, right? And he was gassing it up. And I'm like, you're right. I mean, like you just said, he has a decent year, 270, 20, 25 home runs. He's an incredible athlete. So to have him in the outfield too, I've already seen him like a couple sliding grabs. He has a really good arm. And that lefty swing, I mean, the home runs I'm seeing him hit in spring training, like he blasts the ball, right? So, I mean, I agree. I'm excited for him, and to lose a guy like Soto, but to get a guy like Bellinger who could still complement Judge, I think it was a huge move. And I think it's part of the reason why we're still not writing the season off already.
I listen to Michael K show a little bit. I'll finish it off tomorrow, but I still don't think it's a disaster. Like losing a stud like Cole, and that's why. Like that's why when you sign these guys for $51 million, okay, I'll go right to Soto. That doesn't guarantee anything. Mm-hmm. Like you still have to play and things, and you got the rest of the team because it's a team sport, but it's built on individualistic accomplishments. And I still don't think, with all the bad things that have happened in the last 2 weeks, that it's that bad. Like it's not an ideal situation.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. You're not Oakland. I mean, that's the other end of the scale. Actually, they're not even Oakland anymore, but it's a whole other story. But like, you're not in a Toronto situation. You're not a Tampa situation. You're not in a, like, Boston did improve themselves. The Jays, you don't know what you're going to get day in, day out, let alone week in, week out. But I don't think the Yankees are in a horrible, horrible spot. Like, but by making that one deal for Fried, kind of usurps the Cole situation. Yes, you'd rather have both, but if you have an embarrassment of riches, that's why you have it. It's like if you go through a divorce, don't sign a prenup. She gets half. I still have the other half. I don't know.
There you go. No, exactly.
I don't think, like, it's not the worst. As dumb as that sounds, it's not worst case scenario in my opinion.
No, I agree. And yeah, even the Orioles, I mean, they lost some guys that I think are going to hurt. I mean, I think the AL, it's still, I think we were in such a great place, I think 3 weeks ago, that's why it's making it feel like it's so drastically worse. And like when you lose a guy like Cole, it does hurt. And Yankee fans, we know we hold this team to, maybe I'm a Yankee fan. I think Yankee fans hold this team to the most unbelievable standard of any professional sport there is, because like you just said, some of these other teams, like I don't know. We go through something and it's like the end of the world for us. There are some other fans that have been going through this for 25 years. They can't put together a decent roster. So I'm always
Toronto
thankful.
Blue Jays have not won. This is because I'm Canadian.
I'm ready. Yep.
They have not won a World Series since 1993.
See,
Haven't been to the World Series since 1993.
there
And
you go.
that is one of the better franchises. There's a lot of
Exactly.
teams who haven't had a sniff.
Exactly.
Baltimore, like Kansas they have one, but you look at a lot of teams haven't had a sniff. The Yankees are, well, yeah, like, and I'm not one to be one of those guys they go search for 28. Yeah, they won 25 of them when there was 10 teams, so whatever.
Yeah.
But not 25. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Like for people to be the henny penny, the sky is falling thing. Like what happens if all of a sudden this team comes out of nowhere and does something?
Exactly.
I remember I was in 2016 when they brought Judge up and they brought Sanchez up and all that stuff. And I was actually in New York, and Johnny, one of the bartenders of the Yankee Tavern, he because he didn't they didn't make the playoffs that year, but he said I don't want the season to end because it was so fun. Because it came in the season with low expectations, and then they won a bunch of games with the young kids and everything else. And then in 2017, they made a heck of a run, and that's still one of my favorite Yankee teams in recent memory. That they came together, they made a couple of deals here and there, and they brought in Headley and blah blah blah, and the rest. And like the shirt I'm wearing tonight with the thumbs down thing, it was a lot of fun. And it wasn't a guarantee. And I'm kind of excited about this season that, you know what, this team, even though they're not underdogs by any means, they're going to play like underdogs and might surprise some people by not being underdogs, if that makes any sense.
100%. I do have to say, I love that shirt. That is an incredible shirt.
Got it from Baldwin LCTs over across the street, right in front of Billy's there. Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're exactly right. And I think I think of a sport like the NBA, right? You got 5 guys on the court. When you're coming into a season, you need kind of all those spots to have superstars, especially in today's day and age, to really feel like you can compete. Baseball is 162 games. It's, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do is hit a baseball, right? So when you have a guy like Ben Rice last season, or whenever was that last season, Ben Rice came in, and I mean he came in hot, right? And then he falls off at the end. But that's the thing. You can have guys come in and fill a key role, right? And get hot at the right time. And then another guy picks up, gets hot at the right time. So exactly what you're saying. Like the Dodgers, those expectations are so incredibly high that they're almost destined to fail in some regard. I still think they're going to be one of the most talented baseball teams of all time. But you kind of almost, I mean, you don't want it, but some question marks are fun because you have guys. Dominguez has looked shaky in the outfield, yes, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he comes in, hits 20-something homers, steals a ton of bases, figures it out in the outfield. Maybe you have Ben Rice come back. Now he's comfortable. Maybe he starts hitting the ball. So I agree. I like kind of having, all right, we lose Cole. All right, Stanton's not here. We need some guys to step up. Is it ideal? No, but I do think that it's not the end of the world. I agree.
It's funny to it's just, what are we gonna do? Well, the rest of the guys, like this would be if somebody died in a car crash or a bus crash, and let's not talk about injuries. If somebody actually just passed away, wow, turn our hands up, probably not. Right?
Exactly.
You're gonna watch anyways and hope for your team.
Exactly.
And people retire, people just wear out, it happens, and if it happens now, I think it's better to happen now than maybe in July or in August or September when you can't make a deal or you can't do anything. But now you have some insurance, and you get in the business of things. It always turns out that
That's
way.
a great point.
Exactly. Cashman and Steinbrenner have some insurance money on the back end because Cole's out for the year, so they got $40 million they can spend somewhere, right?
Exactly.
And so it's not dead under the water. And a friend of mine that I do listen to, fan of the band, he's down in Long Island, and he's really mad at the spending that the Yankees haven't done, and they haven't gone over the tax, or they said they're out of money. I disagree with Jim a lot on that one because they've spent a lot of money over the years and haven't done a whole bunch. What's your thoughts on that? When there must be come to Jesus meetings once a year when it's all said and done, and Steinbrenner pulls a little cash into the office and says, "Okay, well, we didn't do it again. We spent $300 million, and well, Kansas City Royals played, or the Chicago White Sox, or the whoever. Well, let's go Tampa. Tampa Bay made the playoffs, and we played 2 more games than them. And they spent $80 million, and I spent $300 million. Explain that to me, please, Ryan. What would your response be to that one?
That's a tricky one because I mean, you're right. Like the Yankees have spent, so I mean, I get some of the frustration with this season in terms of like, I was looking forward to maybe picking up a solidified third baseman. I was looking forward to maybe just looking for another bat. I mean, everyone's looking for, you want to bring this guy over. You want to. But at the end of the day, like you just said, I mean, there's going to be a team this season. There's going to be that spend X amount of dollars, way less than the Yankees, that are going to play amazing baseball. That's just how it works. There are certain things you have to trust. And it's just kind of how the way the game works. But I think, I mean, I would have loved to grab a third baseman. I know we're putting Jazz at second, and I like that because that's his true position.
He's second baseman.
Exactly. He's going to be great there. I love Waldo. I think he's going to do a great job there. I don't know how his bat's going to be, but I think an Arenado, a Bregman, someone like that there would have been nice. But again, I don't really personally have problems with the spending.
I was torn with the Bregman.
Bregman's a tricky one.
Like, I was torn because this can be the year we're 22 minutes into this thing, and I haven't swore yet, but I fucking hate that guy. Like, I that's the longest on this 4.5 year history of this podcast.
I had to do it to you. I had to say the name.
It's fine. Yeah, just say Bregman. It brings me to the worst in me. I've just that smug look at that little prick's face. Yeah. And the way he pushed away that cheating scandal, and I didn't do it. I can't stand him. I'm 50 years old, and I said the tongue out of the mouth. I can't stand the guy, and I'm glad that the Yankees didn't. And I don't even know if they looked at him or didn't look at him. I don't know, but I was praying that they wouldn't, because I can't take it to that level. Like, I just that 2000. I've forgiven, but I'll never forget that cheating thing at the banging the drums in 2017. Because, like I said, it was my favorite team in recent history. It was 8 years ago already. Jeez, I'm getting old. So are you.
Years are flying by.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
But I'm glad they didn't go up for Bregman. But Arenado's out there, and I've heard rumors about Sonny Gray, and then I went, I wouldn't. It didn't work the first time.
That's true.
Like, don't go back to the X, man. It never works. Like a 2-week breakup. We're on a break. Ross and Rachel thing might, but for Sonny Gray to come in, because there's supposed to be a 2-for-1 deal, something in the works. I wouldn't chase after Sonny Gray. Arenado, maybe, but Sonny Gray, I would keep him in Neverland personally. What's your thoughts?
I agree with that, because I remember, I mean, he didn't work out, and then wherever he went to the next year, whatever it was, he was back to being elite. So there was something with him in New York that, like you just said,
I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he went there and he had like a 2-something ERA, and I don't know, it was like in Cy Young contention or whatever. I don't even know, but there are some guys that just don't mesh well with New York, and like you just said, you should stay away from them. As soon as you're able to recognize that, don't go back. But I mean, Arenado,
like Mariano said, pinstripes are heavy, and he found out quick, man.
They were heavier for him than some other.
Yeah. Going from Oakland to New York. Big change, man. Big change. There's more reporters in the locker room than there are people in the stands.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I think Arenado would have been a nice pickup. I know he's had some down years, but I mean, he's comfortable with Goldschmidt. So I think defensively on the corners, that would have been really nice. And then, I mean, we're not looking for much there anyway. So, I mean, if he has a semi-decent year with the bat, but is just solid defensively, I think that would have been a nice pickup. But I'm all right with, I mean, we'll rock with Waldo. Would have been cool to see. It just seems like Oswald Peraza, he just doesn't seem to put up much of a fight. He's had some chances.
He's had a lot of chances, and
he just never
he's
has
just that guy. He's just a guy now, right?
That's it. And I was excited about him a while ago, but now it's just like every chance he's not doing it.
What do you got? Man, we're going into year 3 of Volpe. And Man, I hate to say this. I just don't know. I just don't know if he's got it. I don't know. The eye test says one thing, and then the stats say another thing, and then the heart says another thing, and you hope a kid from New York can do it, and blah blah blah. And I read something that made me laugh quite a bit. Like I expected something quite. Twitter can be funny still sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Not all the time, but sometimes it can be funny. And then I can't remember how it was exactly worded. Basically, yeah, Volpe has a lot in common with Derek Jeter, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." And then it was like, "What? Return." Yeah, both overrated. I was like, "Oh, yeah, there it is." I was like, "Jesus, that's not what I wanted to hear."
No.
6 in the morning, but whatever. What's your? Like, I don't get the clutch, warm and fuzzies. He's fine. Like he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine. But we were so spoiled for so many years with Jeter, and that's 11 years ago now. And then Didi came in and he was great. So I don't hope he's as good as Didi in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get the uplifting thoughts when it comes to Volpe. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's tough with him. Because I mean, coming in as a rookie, we were all, ecstatic. We were all ecstatic kind of just to get like this young guy that like, oh, maybe we can have that 20-year career like Jeter. I mean, at least that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, oh, we like you said, the kid from wherever he was from, but loved the New York Yankees. And then just a rookie year, right? Like what you would expect from a rookie.
Yeah.
And then year two, it's like, all right, we need that big jump. And then don't get the big jump or maybe a small jump, right?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, now we're going into year 3. Is it you just said?
I think it is. Yeah.
Year 3.
Yeah.
I hope it's not year 4 because then we're in. Then we're in
like, son of a bitch.
But no, I'm with you. It's so tough because I really do like him. Like you said, tug on the heartstrings a bit. I like him. He seems like a great guy. He's great defensively, but it's been the bat. It's been. I don't know. Like you said, yeah, that grand slam in the World Series, it was awesome. But for some reason, it didn't hit as hard for me. I don't know how many games we were down at the time. Was it 2?
Yeah, it was a king of a third world country home run. It didn't mean anything. It's like,
exactly.
Right,
so it's like it's awesome.
Right on. Might
like, thanks.
Softball field, Central Park in June.
Right? I'm with you.
I don't know.
I'm with you. We need to see, in my opinion, a really big jump this year in order to be excited about the future. Because you see other shortstops. I mean, other teams have a shortstop. Year 2, they're already putting up. I mean, you look at Gunnar Henderson. You look at Bobby Witt. You look at like the Ellie De La Cruz.
Witt might be the best one of the bunch. But because he plays in Kansas, I think Witt might be the best one of the bunch. But because he plays in Kansas City, you don't hear about it, right?
Exactly, 100%. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just. Like, I think they're fine. Like, I think that they're just as good as last year. I think they're just even with the injury. I think they're just as good. I hate now that we talk about it. I'm to start picking up the negative stuff. Well, then there's this guy and the catcher and this. I don't know what are you going to get, but their bullpen's better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so big in today's baseball because they're not your starting pitchers are innings eaters. Get your pen, 7, 8, 9, done. See you later. Game's over.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have an actual close, which they haven't had for a while now. I think it's good. One signing that blew my mind was Chapman going to the Red Sox. What was your thoughts when you saw that?
I think I laughed. I would love to know. I would love to know. I have no idea how old he is at this point.
I don't think his birth certificate's probably truthful.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Because who was that? Who was the guy for the Yankees back when they were winning World Series in '97 from Cuba? His brother played for the Marlins. What the heck was his name? Orlando. Jesus, what was his name? You know what I'm talking about. Big late kick Cuban guy. He was 40 years old. His birth certificate said he was 28. We'll think of it in half a second. But yeah. But I think Chapman's the same thing. He's been around forever.
Was it Orlando Hernandez? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Orlando.
But yeah, Chapman's been around forever. Seeing him go to the Red Sox is just funny to me. I mean, it's so fitting. I don't know what their plan is for him. I think that he's been pretty unreliable for a while now. I'm sure he still throws 100-something miles an hour, but not a guy I'd want anywhere near the Yankees again. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I say this all the time around the ballpark that I work at there with the team. They say nobody cares how hard you throw a ball for. Nobody cares, man.
Yeah, it's still ball 4.
Still ball 4. Way to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you throw 100. Have you thrown a strike yet this week?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. I heard some things like it's always funny how people just their fandom gets in the way and they want their team to win a lot, and then sometimes they forget morals and things, and because sports fans can be dumb. I'm included. We can't see the forest through the tree, and you yourself, old cap there. Like I heard something. The Trevor Bauer story just won't go away. Hey, like it just whatever. And he was popping off when Cole went down because him and Cole were nemesis and they don't like each other because Bauer said some pretty disparaging remarks and did a lot of disparaging things. And then he had some Yankee fans saying, "Yeah, bring him on." And I was like, "No, don't, keep that ass hat away." That's my opinion. Well, if the Yankees were to sign old Trevor, and I don't think they will. I think they because they just allowed beards for Christ's sakes. Not going to allow that kind of a guy around. What's your thoughts on Trevor Bauer? And should he just go off to Tom Cruise Island and fuck off, or what's your deal on there?
Yeah, I think my take on this would have been different a couple years ago when he still was, in my opinion, still like a solid pitcher. I never really truly got it too into like everything that went down with him other than kind of what I saw on Twitter and online. So it he seems like a pretty bad dude, but I never really knew exactly what he did. So I probably would have been more likely to want the Yankees to reach out to him in the past. But now I think over the past year of him playing in this Mexico league, I mean, first of all, he's playing against, Robinson Cano batted like 400 in that league. He's still playing. And the competition he's facing over there, he's posting these crazy numbers.
I saw Robbie Cano play for the Brooklyn Cyclones. I was down in Coney Island about 3 years ago with my sister and brother. Might even be longer than that. It's 2019. Yeah, so it's 5 years ago. Jeez, I'm getting old. Yeah, he had a rehab stint, just rolled off the Cyclone and got out of Ruby's on Coney Island and took a few at bats for the Brooklyn Cyclones in the New York Penn League. Holy crap!
I love that. I mean, that guy loves baseball. To be
still
be playing,
I had no problem with that at all.
Yeah, to still be playing that. I always loved Robbie Cano. But yeah, I mean the Bauer thing. It's like at this point, you've been facing batters for years now in whatever leagues, the Japanese league, the Mexican, whatever he's been in. You've been facing batters that just aren't at the same skill level. And at this point, I just don't think he's even worth. And like you said, like everything that comes with him, his yapping. I mean, Gerrit Cole doesn't like him. I'm good on that. There's no need to even give that a shot.
Yeah, I kind of laugh, like even like last year, and I this isn't a political thing at all. Like it's more of it's just when people were still talking this a couple of years back, and people talking about Kaepernick coming back to the quarterback. That was 9 years ago. He hasn't played professional football for 9 years. Yeah, throw him in here. He's fine.
Exactly.
Not how this works. It's not how this works. Yeah, he hasn't pitched in major leagues for 5 years. Throw him in. He's fine. That's not how this works. Like it just doesn't work that way. Like it just like this isn't a ABC after school special, some heartfelt story. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah, he's good.
The guy still has to be good at the sport. Yeah, he still has to play. I'm the biggest Cam Newton fan, and I still see people saying like, "Man, they should go out." It's like, okay, come on, that ship has sailed. He tried his comeback. We're talking about 10 years ago. He was the MVP. Let's say 6 years ago was his last pretty decent season of football. Like the same with the Kaepernick thing. At some point, you got to recognize when guys aren't in that sequence of playing well. Same with Trevor Bauer. That ship is
over. It's over. If you don't get to compete at high levels, you don't get to compete. I know pitching's different because you can go out there and do your thing, but and you're in office, so don't.
Yeah.
I just like whatever. It's just funny. Yeah,
Exactly.
bring Didi back. No.
Yeah, right.
I loved Didi. Like he was the
Mhm.
perfect replacement for Jeter at the time.
He
Like
was.
he was smiling and laughing and he played great, hit some big home runs in the playoffs. I thought Didi was so good.
Yeah.
So good. If the Astros wouldn't have screwed them over in 17, and then he was still there in 19. I thought Didi was, man, he was so good and fun. That's what I liked about him.
He really was. He was so athletic, so good at his position, a great hitter. And my favorite thing about Didi, beside his personality, because like you said, always happy, always having a good time. His tweets after the wins, I used to love it. He had an emoji for every player.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like the octopus for Gary, the Kraken, homeward. Chapman was the rocket, lights out in the ninth. It was like his vibes were so great. He was just such a good replacement after the best shortstop we'll ever have. And yeah, like this is such an I think we keep saying this for so many guys, right? I keep saying it I'm like, well, Dominguez is a different story. He's very young, and this is going to be really his first year playing. But it feels like there's so many guys who are like, oh, nope, this is the year he's got to prove it. Nope, this is the year he's got to step up. But this truly has to be Volpe's year. It really does. He's
should have got off the pot. Yeah,
exactly.
It's one of those things. You wonder how they're going to do it. It's just, but if they all have, I don't want to say career years, but if they all have above average years, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're a professional baseball player, you're supposed to get better every year.
Yeah.
So if they all have above average years and get better, and they're pitching, and Fried does what he's supposed to do, and Williams does what he's supposed to do, I think that they're still fine. And I think they're still fine. Are they a World Series champion? That is yet to be seen, because if they're close, then you never know, they might make a deal. Just like 2017, where they had a chance to go to the World Series if the Astros didn't cheat. So I think everything is actually fine. I actually do. I'm glad I had you on tonight, because you brought back my positivity towards the Yankees. Like I'll bet you, if you go down to if you went to the Bronx right now and sat at the Yankee tavern with those crusty old bastards in their bunch of old rummies, they'll tell you how bad things are. And I love that whole place. I have a good time in there. So Tony in there, man. I've had a lot of time. It's I think they're in good shape. I still do.
I'm with you on that. I think we're fine. I think that competition wise, again, I don't think anyone got extremely better in the AL. That we should be, obviously we're concerned about teams, but we're not scared of anyone. Like you said, Fried replaces Cole. Sad, but it's the reality. We lose Stanton, but we expected that regardless. We replace Rizzo / Ben Rice at first with Goldschmidt, who's a veteran. I think he's going to be good.
Exactly.
Yep.
I work in baseball. I still don't understand WAR. Because I don't want to. I probably could, but I don't want to. Batting average, getting on base, that matters to me.
Yeah.
WAR, I just forget it. I don't care. But Rizzo had a negative WAR last year. So anything we get out of a first baseman this year is still, once again, better.
Exactly.
Right? So it's positive again, Cap.
Exactly.
It's still positive.
And there's different positions we did that with. Like you said, we didn't really have a closer. Clay Holmes was he was so shaky at times. He lost so many games for us. We put Luke Weaver in there at the end of the year. He was great, but now we're losing our setup guy / a Luke Weaver who was pitching for us, and he really turned it on late in the season. But we're fixing all these needs. We fixed a lot of needs. Bellinger replaces
second baseman now, who's actually a second baseman.
Exactly. I think
Bellinger.
Still a lot of good.
It's a lot of good.
Yeah. And like you said, if we're competitive, we make a big trade, we make a big move. I think that's very possible. I mean, we'll see how things go going into the season, but I don't think there's any reason to be pessimistic. You can be sad for Gerrit Cole, and you can be sad you're not going to get to watch him pitch, but don't be sad about the Yankees season. That's all. That's kind of my take.
Once again, another reason to be positive is Cole missed two-thirds of the season last year.
Exactly. And look where we ended up.
Fine. Yeah. Everything is fine.
Exactly.
Rainbows, unicorns blown out of the 1420 sports bar. Look at that. Hey, it's unbelievable.
Exactly.
God, you boosted my spirits tonight, Cap. That's
now I don't want to bring you down, but my one thing that I do got here it is.
Closing time. Last call. My credit card doesn't work. Here we go.
The one thing, and it's not a negative. It's not a big concern, but Aaron Judge obviously is everything to us, right? He for the last 3 seasons has been unbelievable. I'm not nervous, but it is interesting how much we kind of just throw out there from him immediately. It's like, oh, we're gonna get 55 home runs from him. We're gonna get 100 plus RBIs.
Eventually, we're not.
Right? Like it's. I mean, I love him. I think he's going to, like every other Yankee fan. But it does concern me how much, and we've seen this in the past when Judge went down. Was it 2022, 23? I forget. But it did hurt our lineup. I think we're much more balanced now with our lineup. But it is kind of crazy how we're just like, oh no, yeah, Judge is good for 54 home runs. He's good for 120 RBIs. He's good for. It's a little I don't know. Yeah, it's a little nervy for me.
Yeah, a little lofty.
But he's Aaron Judge. He's Aaron Judge.
Oh man, I hope so, but no, no.
But he is.
Can you go through history of baseball other than Babe Ruth has ever done that? Nobody. Who averages 50 a year for 10 years? Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody.
That's not the way this works. I'm getting old too. Yeah.
Yep. You can't.
No, it's just I think they're fine. Like I really, really do. I would laugh and joke, and it could be disaster come 2 months from now. We'll have you on again, but I think they're okay. Like I really, you don't. Baseball's such a tough thing, and they're still the Yankees, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that's an intangible. Eventually, one day the ghosts are going to come across the street and they're going to win one. I strongly believe that they're the Yankees, and they have and this isn't saying the 105 World Series and the blah 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 and everything else, but eventually they got to they got to get it. And the ownership, as much as Jim, the fan of the band, doesn't believe it, and a lot of Yankee fans don't believe it, they spend a lot of money, and they always. And that's one thing I like about being a Yankee fan is my ownership group of a team that I follow through 162 plus spring training plus. They put the effort in to try to win a World Series, and I appreciate that.
Exactly.
Whereas we're not the Oakland or the whatever or this team or that team. They're just here. The Yankees ownership group, to me, in my lifetime, in my Yankee fandom, and especially in yours, you're quite a few years younger than me. They've always put money in. They've always spent a lot of money to try to win World Series. And I think Yankee fans really miss out on that fact that this ownership group spends a lot. Mm-hmm. And is it Cashman's fault they don't get all the best talent? Maybe. Is it Steinbrenner's fault that they don't spend at the right time? Maybe. But they put in an effort, and as a Yankee fan, I actually appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, even you see like every free agent, every this rumor, that rumor, the Yankees are always in the mix. You always see the Yankees, and fans of other teams don't have that. They don't always see their team in the mix with all these great players. So even when we don't get them, it's exactly what you said. The effort's there, so you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, and sometimes a chicken bucket costs a little more than it should, or a beer costs a little more than it should. Well, whatever. You take the good with the bad, I guess. Right? It's one of those things.
If you're going to see a game nowadays, you're in for a nice $200. Not even counting the ticket. You're in for if you're parking, if you're having some food, some drinks. But that's that's our Max Fried.
Well, we were laughing a couple of years back. No, it was actually 2017. Me and my brother were down there. We went to it was actually Kansas City on a Thursday night, and it was the Blue Jays for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. And went to the game while we were staying in Manhattan. Obviously, I stayed in the Bronx a few times. That's a few stories I should. Wow, that was something. The Super 8 in the Bronx, about 10-minute walk. Yeah, crazy. Wow. Anyways, but I didn't know. I just figured. Hey, so whatever. But we stayed in We stayed in Manhattan. We went to the game on the Friday night, or Thursday night, sorry. We sat in 203 in the bleachers with the bleacher
Mhm.
creatures. Had a great time. And then Sunday or Friday night, well, Friday afternoon game, we got to the Bronx at about, I don't know, 10 a.m. for a 1 o'clock game, and started drinking beers and whatever. And we had tickets and got on the old StubHub or SeatGeek app. And I said, hey, I had a few beers in me. So, hey, there's a Legend Suite for $400 a piece. And my brother goes, what? I said, for $400 Friday afternoon. Yeah, I said, absolutely. So bing, bing. Like it was like done.
Yeah.
Like we ate $400 a piece worth of food, man. Like it was, I don't know if you've ever been down there. It's
No.
unbelievable. I was like, holy Christ. So we went down there. And I said to, like, we were kind of a little tentative, and the girl, the woman at the front, she goes, eat whatever you want. Like you can have everything. It's all for you. You can have whatever you want. It's all, it's part of your thing. Like, everything. Yep. Everything. During the game, drinks and food. Like, it was unbelievable. We got way more than our money's worth for sure.
That's almost.
Yeah. It was
That's
crazy.
yeah, I have a bachelor party coming up, and we're going to a game against the Red Sox at home, and we're doing a suite. It's my first time doing a suite, and exactly that. Like you hear the price, it's like whoa, but then you think about it, you get a regular ticket. If you enjoy yourself the way you'd like to, it would be way more than what you're going to do in a suite, and you can really just indulge. So I mean, it sounds like it's the way to go.
Oh, it was the way to go. Like, because then they were playing the Jays, so they were on TV up here in Canada. And then so my buddies, actually my wife, she was home at the time before she was my wife actually, and she was home for lunch. And she sent me a message during the game because we were right behind home plate, 4 rows up. Like incredible. Unbelievable. And then she says, "How did you get those seats?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. How much they cost?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was fine. It's fine." And a bunch of buddies were sending me a message during the game. No, it was awesome. No, it was something. And then the next night went to Billy Joel. It was quite the weekend. Like it was.
That sounds amazing. Yeah,
it was an amazing weekend. Ryan, where do you now that we've blown the like it's all fine. It's everything. Care Bears are getting the hugs and kisses and the whole bit. What are they going to do? Speak from your head first, then from your heart, or if both are combined, do that too.
All right. So in my head, I think now it is tough. We just talked about how crazy baseball is. I think the Yankees and the Red Sox by the end of the season are fighting for that one spot.
Nice.
I don't know who gets it. I'm not going to go that far, but I think whoever doesn't falls to that wild card, and they'll safely be – they're both going to be very competitive in the playoffs, I think, in terms of the AL. I think the Red Sox are going to be good, and I think the Yankees are going to be good. So I think we're making the playoffs. I'll go that far. That's where my head says. My heart says we'll be back. We'll be back against the Dodgers rematch. My heart says the Dodgers will be banged up like us. We're getting it now. I think the Dodgers will get it later. I don't wish injury upon anyone, but it's the name of the game. And there you go. I'll let you do that. And yeah,
I won't.
No,
because I'm closer to a hip blown out than you are. So yeah, one of those things. I hope the stairs tonight, it might be all over for me, whatever. But yeah.
And I think like you said, we're competitive. We make some moves, and I think Yankee fans, I think we're okay. We'll be all right.
I think so too. I know it's going to be what I like about this a little bit. The Red Sox made some moves. They did. Mm-hmm. So this Yankees Red Sox thing has kind of been a bit bunked for the last few years. It might be back a little bit.
Exactly.
Won't get back to what it was before the Red Sox won a World Series the first time in 248 years. But it's going to be. I think it's back again a little bit because the Red Sox are going to be a lot better, and then people are expecting the Yankees to be a little bit worse, and I don't think they are. So I think the Yankees. I still think they win the East. I still think that they are going to. The playoffs can be tough because the pitching gets so tough in the playoffs, and everybody throws. You get those one. You get a 1 and a 2, which we don't know if the Yankees have yet, but we hope they do. But no, I think they're fine. I think they're fine. And I'm glad we got to talk with this. And Ryan, you reassured me a little bit tonight that this was a thing. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, no, it was good. So what's this game you're going to? What game are you going to?
I'll have to check. I know it's the Red Sox at home. I think it's sometime in August. So I don't know how many times we're playing the Red Sox at home in August, but it's one of those.
Yeah,
I'll have to check the dates.
My first Yankee game in the Bronx, 2013, September. I actually have the first base from my first game, the second base my second game, and the third base from my third game down here in the tavern. Do you remember when there was a Steiner Sports in the stadium?
Yes.
Yeah, I was drinking and bought stuff and stuff.
That's awesome. No, that is so cool. Honestly,
it's kind of neat. I have some stuff down here in the tavern that memorabilia-wise. But yeah,
that is very awesome.
My wife's like, "What do you do? What do you do with this?" Nothing.
No, just look at it and admire it.
Somebody comes and I can tell them a story.
Exactly.
Is it worth anything? Not to anybody else, just to me. Like it's not worth the pace, but whatever. That's cool. But
that is cool.
It's funny. Cool. No, Ryan, tell everybody about your Twitter account because it's the most positive Yankee account that there is. It actually is. You're never a negative guy when it comes to the Yankees, which is refreshing because Yankees Twitter is by far the most toxic thing on the planet.
I appreciate that, and I think that's kind of why it comes out is because there's so much negativity. It's someone's got to do it. But yep, Captain's Corner. Going to work on starting a podcast come the season. Kind of did some trials here and there, but going to get that going and would love to just continue to be a guest on here. It's always a pleasure. And great convo. And I just got to throw it out there. Luis Heel will be back. We can't forget that. He's going to come back. He's going to be great.
Positive.
Yes.
God, I love that. God, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's always great having you on here. We'll get you on before opening night and have a talk, and then we'll get some other. We have a couple other. Actually, I'll get the most negative Yankee fan on and get you on here. We'll get you together before opening day. We'll have a lot of fun, have a lot of laughs, get you on during the season, and anytime you need some help with getting your podcast going, because I think it would be great because Yankee podcasts tend to be a bit much, to say the least. Like you like them. There's a few that I listen to. They're like, oh Jesus. Other ones like Jesus Christ. Throw your hat away then. Bert. Okay, we'll end it this. I know you're not this guy, but I am.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like telling people, okay, burn your hat, turn in your card, don't watch the fucking game then?
Absolutely.
Do you ever feel that way?
Absolutely. Because I've said this to people. It's like at what point, what are we like? You can complain, we all complain, but what are you actually going to do? What are you going to do personally? You're going to turn the game on and you're going to watch because guess what? You can get upset about all the decisions they make when people don't play well. Oh, I'm done watching. All right, turn the game on and relax. And exactly, burn your hat if you don't want to watch. Then burn all your Yankee stuff. Go become a Red Sox fan. That's fine. See ya.
It drives my wife nuts because her and her dad, because they're from Toronto originally, and her brother are Leafs fans, right? And every time the Leafs lose, which is every year, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world, and even during the regular season, the games, they lose their marbles. Guy scores a goal, lose their marbles. They're mad. When the Yankees lose, I go, oh, get them tomorrow. Every game if they lose. Oh, get them tomorrow.
Exactly.
It drives me nuts that I could just be like, well, get them tomorrow. Try again. Can't do anything about it.
What else are we gonna do?
Anything about it, right? So no, this is a lot. This is a lot of fun. I enjoyed this a lot. How many points scored in basketball tonight?
Played. Well, it was just pickup. It was a nice day out. Probably scored about 2 games to 16. Probably had about 10. Some nice passes. Nothing too crazy.
There you go. There you go. No, it's a lot of fun. Enjoy this a lot. We'll have to do it again more and more often this season. Maybe a weekly segment or a monthly segment or something. But
definitely,
I think we're fine. I think we're fine.
That could be the title of this one. We're fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. Tonight's show was brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420 at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. And remember, everybody, it doesn't matter where you are. it's who you're with. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.